Hi there, welcome to Raven's Reads. I'm Raven.
My name is Charles.
And today we're starting a new segment based on the book by Ryan Holiday called The Daily Stoic.
The Daily Stoic is a masterpiece by Ryan Holiday. And as readers, we choose this book because in this book, Ryan gives us the opportunity to read a page a day throughout the calendar year. What is Stoicism though? Stoicism is a school of thought in philosophy which focuses or teaches calmness, clarity, and principles for daily living. We believe that as we, embark on this journey of reading, we can share our reflections from these books so that it can help us to, help in our daily lives, on a regular basis. So, sweetheart, let's get into it now.
All right. For the hot-headed man. Keep this thought handy when you feel a fit of rage coming on. It isn't manly to be enraged. Rather, gentleness and civility are more human and therefore manlier. A real man doesn't give way to anger and discontent, and such a person has strength, courage, and endurance, unlike the angry and complaining. The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength. Marcus Aurelius, Meditations 11.18.5b. Why do athletes trash talk to each other? Why do they deliberately say offensive things to their competitors when the refs aren't looking? To provoke a reaction. Distracting and angering opponents is an easy way to knock them off their game. Try to remember that when you find yourself getting mad. Anger is not impressive or tough. It's a mistake. It's weakness. Depending on what you're doing, it might even be a trap laid out for you by someone. Fans and opponents called boxer Joe Louis the Ring Robot because he was utterly unemotional. His cold, calm demeanor was far more terrifying than any crazed look or emotional outburst would have been. Strength is the ability to maintain a hold of oneself. It's being the person who never gets mad, who cannot be rattled because they are in control of their passions rather than being controlled by their passions.
Wow. That's a very, very powerful reading. I think reading it reminds me about an incident from the 2006 World Cup. And I remember France had been tipped to win this World Cup until they got to the stage where they played Italy. And that's where they lost everything. With Zidane headbutting Materazzi. I don't know, see how you might have an idea about this.
Yeah, of course. It was the final of the World Cup in Germany.
Yeah.
And, Maserati said something that provoked Zinedine Zidane of France. And he reacted. He headbutted him. And of course, you can't headbutt a guy in soccer. He got a red card. And now France was forced to play the rest of the match with one player less. They were shorthanded. So, he was provoked and he reacted. He went from being the victim to being the offender. And he was sent off. And Maserati stayed and played the match, and Italy won the cup. It also makes me think of primary school days. The teachers would tell us, if something happens, come tell the teacher, come report it to the office, and then they'll deal with it. But, my parents used to tell me, if someone hits you, hit them back. So if you're like me, you probably heard these things too. And, you can go from being the victim where someone's saying nasty things to you, but when you decide to push them back or hit them, knock them down, now you're the offender. Now you're the one in trouble. And you're the one that's going to get detention or have to miss out on recess or have some punishment. There are very few situations in life when you can go from having an angry reaction and still being the victim.
Well, that's very, very good because as the book points out, anger is a mistake. It doesn't come from a position of strength, rather it comes from a position of weakness. So anytime that you show anger, you've lost it. You are showing your weakness. It doesn't make you strong any longer. Even though you might be right or justified, but by being angry, you've become weak. Which is your mistake, right? And it really reminds me about a quote that says, it's not about what happens to you, it is about how you respond to it. So just like you are saying, there are incidents where you might be the one who is initially offended, and you warrant an apology. But then because of anger, because you lost your self-control, you end up the one having to render an apology, which is very interesting. All it requires is for you to, be calm. Sometimes count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If not, walk away. But if you are not able to do any one of these things, then before you realize you've caught yourself in a huge mess. Yeah,
that's so true. Yeah, so that's the Daily Stoic for today. If you want to get the book and read along with us, I'm going to put the link in the description. You can click on that and it'll take you to purchase it. Otherwise, you can buy it from a local bookstore, I'm sure, wherever you live. And it's 1 page every day, and each page has the date at the top of it. So it doesn't matter when you get the book. You don't have to feel like you can't start it because you've missed out on January. Pick it up, start from that day. We'll be going along once a week with like one Stoic on these videos, but we read this together every day. It just takes a few minutes to really read, digest what the Stoics are saying, read Ryan's summary, and then also see how that applies to your life. What situations and scenarios can you think of where this matters to you, where this makes sense to you? And you're going to grow and learn so much. And we're so excited for you to join us on this journey. And
I think at the end of the day, always remember that the reason why we are encouraging this Stoic reading is because you're a reader. You want to develop the habit of reading. And we think that just a little bit of reading a day is what builds that huge reading habit, which is what we are interested in, just to encourage you to read. And as you read, you learn something about your life, you learn something about yourself. So at the end of the day, we are killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Speaking of birds.
Readers of...
No, you said it wrong. That's okay. I'm going to remind him what our slogan is. It's Ravens Reads. Birds fly, readers are fly. See you next time.
Bye-bye.